Come into the room, 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 come into the room. Coming with the mop, leave with the broom. Used to fuck with Skype, now we fuck with Zoom. Come into the room, come into the room. As you can see, the bars are there. Okay? It's bars all day. Hello, my world. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with the jump off. Okay. Sometimes I have to take a break from lives. I'm not like a lot of the, and I'll be honest, I don't care. It is what it is. A lot of the mentally ill. I think everyone has mental illness, to be honest. It doesn't matter how good your life is. I think everyone has something that makes them different, weird, whatever. Maria says, this is the first time I'm on the chat on time. Me too, Maria. Me too. Hey, good to see you. Hello, I have no idea how to say your name. Juju Bean. Aw, cute, adorable. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Okay. But don't let me get into it with Nikki and Lil Kim. Don't. Okay. I'm like, please. I was a teenager. A lot of people talking about this ish wasn't even alive when Lil Kim was out. I was a teenager. Lil Kim, she wasn't that much bigger than Foxy. You know, I personally always liked Trina more than Lil Kim when I was growing up. I liked Trina. You know, no surprise, I like city girls, right? But it is what it is. Since I started talking about it, I'll finish. And the bottom line is, Lil Kim did not make the impact that Nicki made. So stop. She didn't owe her nothing. When I saw that drama going down, I was like, what is she talking about? Like, yeah, maybe she did copy some of your shit. It is what it is. People get copied. Take the compliment and move on. Nobody don't owe you this, and that. You know, and now, you know, it's interesting to see that Nicki starts feeling the same way, right? She starts to feel a little similar. But, you know, we'll get into that on a different video. Let's talk about marriage. All right, hallelujah. Let's talk about marriage. Statistics show that 70% of Black women in America right now are not married. All right, we're not talking about girls. So of age to be married, 70% are not married. Now that's news to me since everyone on YouTube is married, right? Since everybody on YouTube is married, right? All of the real life statistics that we talk about, how they impact peoples and communities in the real world, none of that applies on YouTube because all the Black people on YouTube got a daddy. Everybody married. All right. Everybody's rich. Wow. People be going live off their Obama phone talking about I'm rich. Wow. Okay. That's news to me. Going to Boost Mobile. Okay. Broke as I've been, I never went to Boost Mobile. Okay. I just don't have a phone at that point. When you need Boost Mobile, I'll go to the payphone. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. But, you know, it's a lot of cap on here. And one of the things that I pride myself on is no cap. Okay? No caps. All right? No caps. Yeah, it's just something that I pride myself on because I ain't got to lie. I ain't got to lie, Craig. I ain't got to lie. I ain't got to lie. You understand? Period. Maria says, I was in my early 20s when Lil Kim was out. Okay. Oh, wow. Really, Maria? Wow. You looking good. Let's talk about it. Get into it. Yeah. Come on into the room. Because you see, I know the ladies is in here representing, going hard for me like they always do. I appreciate you. But you might get in your feelings on this one, sis. You might get in your feelings on this one, sis. It is what it is. Y'all know, unlike all these, they love to be like, you may call me a pick-me, but bitch, you a pick-me. God damn. Y'all keep trying to flip being a pick-me as something to be proud of, and it ain't. I'm not like these pick-me women channels that come at Black women sideways and then want to say, I'm here for you. This channel is for women. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Okay? Because see, in the mind, in the eyes of the pick-me, right, a Black woman can only be married if she does everything that a man tells her to do. And I'm going to call cap on that, sis. I'm going to call cap on that. The most successful women that I know are married, they're not pick-me's. I think a pick-me can come in any, race, color, ethnicity, all nationalities. Pick-me's all over the board. There's pick-me's all over the globe. But these pick-me's on YouTube, it's interesting. None of them were around. Pay attention. None of these pick-me's were around when it was just the bashing of Black women. None of them were around, because guess what? And y'all saw what happened when Black women came out and were saying, well, I'm for you guys. Not all of us are like that. They're like, bitch, you are, bitch. Stupid. Right? They're like, you think you're special? You couldn't come on and give them a compliment. Even today, I've been in C House rooms. Ratchet ass C House. Right? And started out letting the dudes know, look. You ain't trap all of us, bruh. You didn't fool all of us, bruh. We didn't all fall for the okie doke. So I don't come with any animosity, I think that everything is fine and dandy, but I want to say, right? And they'd be like, oh, F you. Like they couldn't handle a compliment. So these women were coming on complimenting them when it was only the men bashing the women. And they got drugged for it. Some of them are superstars right now because of it, right? Little Black YouTube superstars, right? Because they were drugged so much for agreeing with these men. They agreed. And the dude said, kiss my, you a Black woman too. That's what they did. That's what they did. So these superstar pick-me's of YouTube, they wasn't out here when, you know what I'm saying? When the men were only bashing the women. I guess that was okay for them. But now that women have it ain't me. It ain't me. And anybody that comes to my channel knows that. No, all I give is facts over here. I bash no one. I allow you to bash yourself. I don't have to bash nobody who's already played themselves. Okay? Okay. But, again, I guess these pick-me's thought, well, that was acceptable. But now when the women are pushing back, which, like I said, if you're on my channel and women are pushing back, it is what it is. Y'all set that up. Y'all set that up. Here come Percy. What's up, Percy? It's good to see you. Good to see you, Percy. I appreciate the super chat. Always bringing sunshine to the room, Percy. Appreciate you. Okay, so I find that to be abhorrent. The way that these women had nothing to say. Now they want to sit there and defend, act like they're the defenders of are you their defenders, or are you infantilizing them, sis? Are you their defenders? A man doesn't need defending. But a man doesn't need defending, not from a woman who he's requiring to submit so he could be the head. A man like that don't need defending from a woman. Are you defending them, or are you infantilizing them? Well, if you don't know what infantilization means, go ahead and check out my video about it and get back to me. I will infantilize no one. I had to raise myself so an adult can figure it out. But yeah, that's my little spiel about these pick-me's. You know, they'll be like, I'm gonna pick me and you are pass me. Like, what? What are you talking about? Y'all don't even got jokes. Y'all don't even got jokes. What are you talking about? Not everyone had to do what you did to get a man, come on. Come on. It's a lot of things I had to fight for in this life, and a man wasn't one of them. Amen. Let the church say amen. Release all my sins at the pulpit. Okay. Let's see. Everyone rich and married, child. Okay. Everybody's rich. Everybody's married. Everybody had a daddy. Well, if everybody had a daddy, why do they keep talking about the single mother homes? Well, they was raised in a single mother home. How were they raised in a single mother home when everybody had a daddy? Come on now. You see, this is why I don't engage in the conversations, because I'm not going to let some fool, some clown who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, who hasn't taken a psych stats class a day in his life. I will not allow him to speak over me, talking about some Bible he's never read, told him he was my boss. Nigga, don't play yourself. The Obama phones. I've been broke. I've never went to Blue. Come on now. Once you go to Boost Mobile, it's a wrap. Maria says, I'm 47. Oh, wow. I've been blessed with good genes in the aging department. The women in my family are blessed. Amen, Maria. Amen. Because you look as young as I thought you were. So amen to that. Appreciate you, Greasoy. Appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up button if you're in the room. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you're not going to be able to take part in the conversation. And if you disagree with what I have to say, I'd love to hear you. I'd love to drop the link in the chat. All right? Have an early morning conversation. But you will respect me if you're on my channel. If you can't do that, kick rocks. Sun Goddess Ari, good to see you. Sun Goddess Ari says, I do want children, but marriage is definitely more important than having kids. Thank you, Sun Goddess Ari. Thank you for asking that question, because that's a question that I asked. And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into it. Yeah. I'm going to get into why it seems like there is a collective idea that having children is more important than marriage, right? And I think, all right, so I'm going to get into that real quick. Again, welcome to DanieSteel. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home with the purple print. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room. I am the only objective, non-agenda having voice in this community. Okay? I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I listen to everyone, and then I give my objective opinion as someone who has worked their ass off to come out from abject poverty to be doing decently well in life now. You'll never hear me come on and say I'm a millionaire and I got it like that if I ain't got it like that. Okay? Now, again, as I've told everyone that knows me knows, I'm from the hood. Okay? My white friends in college used to say, where are you from? Because we were all from the same area, right? And I would say, I'm from Rochester, New York, The Rock, holla. And they'd be like, I'm from Rochester too. And I was like, oh, really? Where? I ain't see you around. Where are you from in Rochester? They'd be like, the suburbs, the suburban communities that surround Rochester. I'm like, that ain't Rochester. Those are the suburbs, right? Those are conversations I had a lot with my friends in undergrad. My white friends. And when they would go back to Rochester, they were like, I was looking for signs that said the hood and I didn't see any. I was like, yeah, there's no signs that say the hood. But if we're speaking about parts of Rochester where we're from, right? I was from the hood. So that's what I came up out of. And there's a lot of people poverty cosplaying on here. pretending that they came from humble beginnings when they didn't. I mean, everything's a humble beginning when you're comparing yourself to Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or the Carters, right? Everything's a humble beginning, but it's like, stop fronting. It's a lot of poverty cosplayers on here. A lot of y'all favorite hip hop artists are poverty cosplayers, especially the ones that came up in the 90s. They couldn't wait to get on here and say, well, mom made me a bologna sandwich one day, so I know what it's like, that hood life. Y'all know shit about that life. And I'm here for the people who want to get up out of a circumstance they didn't ask to be in. That's what I'm here for. And you poverty cosplayers are in my way with your lies. So beware of the poverty cosplayers. I keep it real off the gate. Who I am, where I came from, how I manifested the things that I deserve, desire, and fought for. I manifested that. And come over here, you can learn something. I'm not here to have an agenda. It's not, that's, one day listen, I'm into Taoism. Anyone that knows me knows that on a personal level. Or maybe if you follow me on Patreon. So one day I will be a true Taoist. I'll be on that Buddhism-ish and all that other stuff. And I won't have much to say. That's another reason I don't come on all the time. I don't have a lot to say. So when I have something to say, I get on and say it. And then I'm out. I don't do all that back and forth. Because I know the truth. I don't have an idea of what things are. I've been a lot of places. I've been around very poor people. I've been around very rich people. So I'm here to share what I know. I've never been in love with anyone else besides my husband. So no man has ever hurt me. Okay? Not the way I roll. No man has ever hurt me. And that includes my deadbeat father. I didn't know growing up that men were supposed to be in the house. I didn't know that. Okay? So I wasn't hurt that he wasn't there. And I saw the behavior when he was. I saw the behavior of a lot of men in the hood that were around. And I said, I'm glad he's not here. That's just me. But I think that the baby debacle has got a lot of people in their feelings. Okay, the baby debacle. Because what started happening was people started talking about marriage. And when 70% of your adult women are not married, I don't know who the hell a lot of y'all think y'all are to be talking about marriage. Me, myself, I've been with my husband for going on 12 years. We've been married for 6. That's my stats. Okay? First and only marriage. So let's talk about what is marriage? What is the definition of marriage? What is the purpose of marriage? Because you see, there were a lot of women coming off that baby debacle saying things like, marriage does not save you from abuse, from being a single parent, from being cheated on, from being thrown out the house. No, marriage does not save you from those things. That's not the purpose of marriage. That's not the purpose of marriage. See, the purpose of marriage isn't so that you don't have to pay attention to the red flags when you see them. That's not the purpose of marriage. Let's get into what the purpose of marriage is. Well, marriage, also called matrimony or wedlock, is a culturally and often legally recognized union between people called spouses. It establishes rights and obligations between them, as well as between them and their children, and between them and their in-laws. Okay, I'm going to read that again. And this is according to Wikipedia. So it's a quick definition. I'm going to give you a few more definitions. Let's start with a quickie. Married people love those. Okay, you know what I mean if you know what I mean. Let's start with this quickie fact. Marriage, also called matrimony or wedlock, is a culturally and often legally recognized union between people called spouses. It establishes rights and obligations between them, as well as between them and their children, and between them and their in-laws. Okay? Marriage is a legally and socially sanctioned union, usually between a man and a woman, that is regulated by laws, rules, customs, beliefs, and attitudes that prescribe the rights and duties of the partners and accords status to their offspring. Okay? And maybe you were sitting in English class learning about King Richard this and King Louis that and wondering why these people kept beheading their side chicks and their bastard children, right? That's why. Because the unions were not legitimate, right? And a non-legitimate union, a union before church and state, if it wasn't that, it brought shame on people. People used to be ashamed of this. Now, I'm not saying people should have shame about how their life goes and how their kids end up here at all. But I'm telling you the history of the historical meaning and purpose of marriage. Okay? And I think that Black people leave that out in their conversations about marriage, about baby mamas and baby daddies, right? You see, I think what a lot of Black people are missing, because marriage it's been okayed culturally to have a child without a marriage. There are a lot of cultures, more so than not, that will not tolerate that behavior. It is a behavior to have children out of wedlock, to have children before you make a commitment to one another and your future family. A lot of cultures out there will not have it. And you see things like, honor killings. It's a taboo topic. You see things in other cultures that take marriage very seriously. Now, of course, we don't need none of that. If you take it that seriously, right? But that, I'm telling you the reality. You are in a culture that does not take marriage seriously. Now, I believe the people that are married and have long-term marriages, Black people that are married, have long-term marriages, stay married, value their marriage, I believe that they understand this. I believe that people that want that understand this. But I do not believe that that is the majority. Okay? The marriage is supposed to unite you. Please understand this. And we're talking about the purpose of marriage. The marriage, ladies and gentlemen, is what's supposed to unite the two of you, not the baby. Not the baby. Not the baby. You ever seen this show? Dinosaurs? Not the baby. Not the baby. The marriage is what's supposed to unite you. The marriage is what's supposed to solidify your union, your future goals together, to have children. Now, come on now. It's too many Black women out here that have said We can't control who our baby daddies are. And that is cap. That is cap. Unless, God forbid, you were forced, which a lot of women are. Being chronically lied to doesn't count. Come on now. You're going to be in your feelings about it. Being chronically lied to, especially when you know better. Now, I can see if you're young and you're being groomed. That's why they call it grooming. Notice how that same type of behavior, when an adult does it to another adult, it is not called grooming. You are being lied to. But you need to understand, and I think that it's been made clear by now, that whispers on your neck, whispers in your ear, are not legally law-abiding contracts. They don't mean shit. What bed talk, that pillow talk, doesn't mean shit to anybody. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your pillow talk. And for some women, that is the most intimate experience they've ever felt in life. Pillow talk. What he say before, during, and after. Excuse my text message. What he says before, during, and after the coital indulgences. Nobody cares, sis. So stop using that as an excuse. And now you got to sit back and think for yourself. Is the reason I don't like men, this particular group of men. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Well, y'all know how I feel about dusty men. Dusty men, they come in any shape or form. They are across the board, and there's no excuses for them. But there are women out there that don't like men. Are you disliking men because you believed what he said during pillow talk, which everyone knows by now is cap? Now, it's not the 50s. So they didn't have a way to communicate with one another in the 50s when the pillow talk was going on. In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, we started having more conversations. They had some of those conversations on talk shows, and these dudes got in their feelings because the truth was being told. Well, it is what it is. They feel like they're telling the truth when they down all black women. They feel like they're telling the truth. A truth was being told. Obviously, it's not all. Ain't nobody got time for not all, not all, not all, not all, not all. Ain't nobody got time for that. Obviously, shit's not all. Is there a pattern? The pattern is the problem. So again, do you not like men because you sat back and let a dude whisper, nibble on your ear, whisper on your neck, which I told you, one of the reasons that doesn't work for me is I don't like hot breath on my neck. Okay? I don't like hot breath on my neck. Okay? Empty promises. I don't want to hear a lot of back talk. But it works for a lot of women. Is the reason you don't like men because some guy took advantage of your naivety. I'm gonna say that fucking word right. You gotta think about that for yourself, because not every guy is that guy. Before I get back into the marriage talk, there are a lot of women that say all men cheat. These are the same women that are saying marriage ain't gonna stop him from knocking you out and taking your money and not raising the kids. Marriage ain't gonna stop him from, right? The all men cheat women. It's not gonna stop him from doing it to you, sis, because you still don't get it. That's not how marriage operates for people who understand the purpose. Okay? Now, am I going hard for marriage in this one? Yes. Because a lot of people will sit there and be like, marriage not gonna stop him from doing this. And he's gonna, all men cheat. Maybe all men would cheat on you. Do you understand? Kind of person that you are. Your inability to discern. Your inability to vet. Because you don't want to listen to anyone but yourself. I'm not going to sit on here and talk marriage all day to a bunch of people who don't understand the importance of it. No, I'm not. You do what you want. But I had to come out with this one because it was too much cat. It was too many people that don't know shit about marriage talking on marriage. And that's why I came out at the beginning of the video. If you're just joining, make sure you go back and listen. We already know the numbers. We know that y'all on here lying and capping. Okay? Capping and caping. But the numbers don't lie. 70% of Black adult women are not married. But everybody wants to get on and talk about, well, marriage this and marriage that. But how would you know, sis? Because some dude whispered in your ear that that's what it was. Some dude that don't value it neither. Marriage won't stop him from this, and marriage won't stop him from that. Okay. That's not the purpose of marriage. It's not to stop somebody from being a fool that you knew was a fool. That's not what marriage is for, sis. Percy's back in the building. Percy says, Danie, most girls I've seen that had a kid that were young and crazy in love, they thought a baby would turn into marriage. No one gave them the game. But you see, that's what I'm saying. All you had to do was look at the depth. Thank you, Percy, and thank you, Percy, for the super chat. All they had to do was go to the dictionary and turn the page and look up marriage. The purpose of marriage is to unite you and that man. It ain't gonna be the baby. Not the baby. I keep telling y'all. Not the baby. If it was the baby, marriage wouldn't need to exist. If the baby alone, you see, people understood from ancient times, they understood the importance of the ritual, of the celebration of marriage. Everybody can have a baby. If all you want is the baby, then okay, you good. But y'all don't just want the baby. In fact, some of you don't want the baby at all. You want that knuckle. You want that knuckle. So I'm here to tell you, if you want him, you better make sure he marries you. That's the only way you keep them. Nobody said marriage will save you. Marriage is work. It's hard work. It's not your golden ticket out of accountability. And that's what a lot of y'all is actually pressed about. Because you got married. You got married. You want to sleep, date, and mate with men who record fights and assaults instead of breaking them up and helping, are colorists, texturists. They hate their mamas. They laugh at everyone's misery. These are the men that you will lie up with and then say, well, marriage ain't gonna make him do this, this, and that. Baby daddies to multiple women, multiple DUIs, prison stays, felonies, no job consistency, nothing but the false allure of swag. Y'all will date, mate, lay up with, and then say, well, marriage wouldn't have made that work. Marriage wouldn't have made that work out any better. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. Look who you're choosing. And I ain't talking about my Steelies, baby, because we already know all of this. We've already been through all of this. We've already talked and discussed about this. Naima, oh, good to see you. Oh, thanks, love bug. Oh, wonderful. And you know what? It's not something that you have to rush, but I think it's important to understand what marriage is and what it's for. And it's not for you to say, I got a wedding planned, right? It's not for you to floss a diamond ring, even though that's nice. Of course, we want to floss our diamond rings, but that's not the purpose either. It's not for you to prove something to anyone else but the two of you. And that means you got to know who this man is. You got to know who you're laying up with. And so many women out here making babies with dudes saying, well, I didn't know him. Why did you make a baby with him? You made a baby with someone you don't know? I'm not trying to shame y'all for that either, because I understand it happens. Please understand that I'm not trying to shame anyone for that. What I'm trying to do is say, let's understand what the deal is. Okay? Marriage is to unite you with a man. Sometimes, as women say, things happen, and I'll be honest, it's usually younger women. I'm sorry, but there's not a woman over 30 that can tell me things happen. No, you can't. Not when you're 30 plus, you can't. But especially Black women, nobody does teach us the way. And a lot of Black women, they don't understand how youth plays a factor in your pregnancy, and that the younger you are, the more likely it is you will get pregnant from intercourse, right? And that's why I know when women 30 and older try to say things like that, it's pure cap. Most of the time. So age is supposed to teach you something, and your body makes it harder for you to have a child the older you get. So when you're 30 plus talking about something, oh, things just happened and now I'm having this baby. No, it didn't. You were using that to try to get that man. You thought the baby was going to make him marry you. Just as Percy said, a lot of Black women feel that way. And I'm telling you now, it's not. It's just not. If he doesn't love you, so now you got to think about, okay, well, I'm in love with this guy, but do I really want to have his child? And a lot of Black women don't get to that point. A lot of Black women are just like, I'm in love with him, which, that's not terminology that I use when I'm talking about life choices. That's not terminology that I use. So I'm going to be honest, I can't relate to talking about something, we in love, when it comes to important life decisions. The only thing that matters are the numbers. I'm a Capricorn. That's just me. Okay, that's just me. But I understand most women are on this, we are in love. It's not going to make him marry you, sis. You know what'll make him marry you? Telling him to marry you. Straight up. If you got a guy, because a lot of women, Danie showed y'all, and I know a lot of Black women in the same situation, where they're effing a dude, and he's like, oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. They love to do that. Okay? Again, that type of shit don't interest me. I don't care what you like. I care about the numbers. I care about how things play out. when decisions are made. I don't care about what you just said out your mouth. That don't mean shit to me. But most women aren't like me, right? And I understand that these guys will do and say anything. And you have to understand. The hardest they're ever going to try is to get in your pants. That's the hardest they'll ever try. And so, if that's the only leeway that you have, shit did on them. You gonna have to withhold that. That's something y'all don't want to do. Y'all don't want to withhold it. Because again, we've talked about that on this channel, right? A lot of the intimacy that Black women, Black people in general experience is during intercourse, right? They don't have moments of intimacy that aren't connected with intercourse. A lot of Black people. And so, it's almost like a drug, because everybody wants feelings of warmth, love, affection, intimacy. But it's not real. I think anyone that's had sex understands that, right? It's not real. What you're experiencing is just your body's reaction to getting it on, right? The body reacts because the body wants you to do that. Evolutionary reasons, you understand, right? Yeah, act like evolutionary reasons. That's what I'm talking about. Are you working with all parts of your brain here? There's evolutionary reasons why your body is responding to this. You can't let it get in the way of your goals. If he likes it raw, tell him to order a steak. Fuck that got to do with you. Oh, you want regular access to this and everything is raw? Where's my wedding ring? I don't give a fuck. You just started talking about, we just started talking. Correct. We just started talking. I don't know you, bruh. Oh, we got Lovey John Jaboyne. Thank you for the super chat, Lovey. Lovey says marriage equals legitimization of union and wealth transfer. Hello! Ain't no stopping me. Copywritten, so don't copy me. Okay, you understand that? I don't even like having discussions with people without a notary. Where is the notary? See, I gotta make sure it's all documented, baby. All right, everything I do is official. Fuck. I mean that shit. Y'all know how Amina threw the remember on Love and Hip Hop when Amina threw that pregnancy test out of her bra? She took the pregnancy test and she threw it down in front of his other baby mama, Tara. And he was like, I'm having his baby. I did that shit with my driver's license to my husband's mom. I was like, oh, and by the way, Amina did that too, where she was like, we're married. Yo, Amina was dropping like, bah! I did that shit to my husband's mom because I was like, I think it's a lack of respect that you're not understanding. Sis, let me spell it out for you. Bah! Same last name. You understand that? You understand that? So I don't give a fuck about what you got to say, sis. You're not more important than nobody. We all wives. We all married. You're not more special. Because she was trying to act like, oh, I'm more special, I'm married. I'm like, bitch, get out of here. Get out of here. Get ready to let your sons go. If you're a mama with an adult son, be ready to let them go. Okay? I don't have patience for mothers that can't let their sons go. You're not about to be a part of our relationship. Karen, it's not going to happen. Sit back before you get your feelings hurt. That's all I've got for you. See, when we talk about marriage, my husband's mother, and I've told you guys this, my husband's mother, Italian. And she is from a generation of, if you know the history of Italian Americans, they basically just got accepted into the white race. You know what I'm saying? Like my Vivian Cash video touches on that. And a lot of people are in their feelings because they don't have comprehension skills. But the point of that video is people saw Vivian Cash as a Black woman because of her African American ancestry. That was the point of the video. That's it. Okay? You can say she's white, you can say she's Black, you can do whatever you want. Her family says that she's white. Her family says that she's, majority Italian. I respect that. But you have to understand, let's look at the history. Italian Americans were just being accepted as white people in America because it's a construct. A lot of POC peoples, have sued America so that their ethnicity and or race can be recognized as white because they didn't want to be here with people calling them Black and treating them like Black people. Some of my favorite public freakout videos are when the white person says, they're treating me like I'm a Black person. They're treating me like I'm a Black person. I'm sorry, but there are a handful of videos like that, and it's some of the most hilarious shit. Because it's like, you understand the inequality, but you'll pretend that you don't. Right? So nobody wanted to be treated like a Black person, basically, right? And I think that people seeing Vivian Cash as a Black person had an influence on the deterioration of her marriage with Johnny Cash. I will say that. But see, that's a higher level way of thinking about and looking at things that most people can't do. So most people come on the video and they'll say, she's white, she's Italian, or she's Black. And I don't care what you have to say about what you think she is. So anyways, the marriage joins you to your in-laws, right? Something happens to them, you and your spouse get their belongings, right? The things go to you and your spouse. They go jointly to your household, right? That's stuff that hateful in-laws don't comprehend. I've seen a story where a woman inherited her husband's home that he got from his father. All right, this is a white family. The woman inherited the husband's home that he got from the court rewarded her the house that he got by inheritance from his father. That stuff happens all the time because that's what marriage does. Marriage can do all of that. And you're not even with this man no more. And you get the house that his dad left you because the court says so, because most likely you have custody of the child or children. And the court wants to reward the parent that is taking care of the child. So, people are not understanding the importance, the value, the purpose of marriage. And so that's why they say things like all men cheat and marriage won't stop him from doing this and doing that and doing that. That's not the purpose of marriage. Marriage wasn't supposed to stop that. Your discernment was supposed to. But y'all want to sit up here and get excused for ignoring red flags and lacking discernment. Women that have the nerve to say we can't control who our baby daddies are. You absolutely can, sis. Give yourself more power. Right? All men cheat. No, they don't. You don't know better men. Something about you is attracting low-tier, dusty men. And that's why you think that marriage wouldn't improve your relationship. No, if your relationship is trash, marriage is not going to improve your relationship. If you're in a relationship with a dusty individual, if you're in a struggle ship, no, marriage is not going to improve that. Absolutely not. Congratulations. Maybe you do know something. Duh. Marriage ain't going to improve that. You got to get something worth of quality. First, you have to get a man of quality. You have to vet the man of quality. Then you get the man of quality. Then you build the relationship you desire with that man. That means all of these women that be on here want to be femininity coaches, telling you all you got to do is show up and have an attitude. They're setting you up for failure, sis. Now, you can have an attitude, but it's got to be strategically. Okay. Naima, thanks again for the super chat. She says, me and my guy been together 11 months, and I told him, oh, wow, no sex before marriage. Good for you, Naima. Good for you, because there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That was something that I also had wanted to do. But to be honest, I waited many years, okay? I'm not talking, I mean, into your 20s, and you get to a realization that, wow, right? I mean, can you believe it? Telling y'all straight up, I would be dating guys and be like, oh, I'm waiting till marriage, right? And then didn't understand why nothing came of those relationships, right? Everything would just fizzle. And they weren't real relationships anyways. They were situationships. Again, my husband's my first boyfriend, my first relationship. He's the first person I brought around my family, anything like that. Every other dude I ever been around, I had a very clear understanding that this ain't gonna be about shit fairly early on. And I didn't have, these longer relationships. I dated and then I found my husband. But, you get into things in your 20s, right? And it was a shock to me, especially as someone that went to private Catholic school, kindergarten through 12th grade. I spent my life in the Baptist church. It was a shock to me that men don't value a woman being a virgin. When they start talking about valuing a woman being a virgin, when there's some creepy 30, 35, 40, 50 plus old man. I think that's some of the sickest I've ever heard. All of a sudden they're like, yeah, I value, but young men don't value that. Young men want the women. And when you're a young woman, you have to understand that young men want the women that are going to give it up, period. And that's why you'll see oftentimes the most popular women are those, in school surroundings, right? Are the ones that are constantly dating these guys and giving it up. Because that's what guys want when they're young. And Not My Goodies would come on when I was an undergrad. And I was friends with a lot of guys, and they would be like, oh my God, they'd be like, because I would sing the song and they would know that it was true. I'm telling you straight up, they would know it was true, but for me, not my goodies, not my goodies. No, go get it for someone else. I don't give a fuck. And dating in undergrad, I didn't see the appeal of it. I didn't see the appeal of dating in high school. That's why I didn't. I didn't see the appeal of dating in undergrad, which is why I didn't. I didn't see the appeal. Now, I actually met my husband in undergrad, and he had a car, and he had his little side job and shit. If I knew all of that, I would have dated him sooner. But I didn't. I knew him, but I didn't know all that shit, right? Because he was a nerd. He wasn't like, I got a car and I can drive you places, So, and did I curve him because he was a nerd? Maybe. Young girls do that, right? They're like, I like this guy, the end. But we started dating a few years after I graduated from undergrad because I quickly understood as I was in grad school that smarter men are the better men, period. Smart men that want to work hard, that want a wife. These are the men to be with. Not some guy you think is cute. You know, I'm gonna hit y'all with some tough ones here. But we talk about being the largest educated group, right? Black women, the largest educated group. So why don't you want to use your brains when it comes to mating choices and date strategically? How can you be proud to say we're the largest educated group, but you don't want to use your brains when it comes to mating choices and date strategically? So what is the education for? What is it for? If you're not going to apply it to your personal life, what is it for? Again, this culture of anti-intellectualism that has a hold on y'all. Get those shackles off your feet so you can dance. Get those shackles off your feet. There's nothing wrong with, I'll let a man know quick. I'm a little smarter than the average bear. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm a little smarter than the average bear. Men will say things to me all the time that I'm like, I guess you don't understand. That doesn't mean shit to me. Now, I understand that might move another woman, but it won't move me an inch. I am immune. You understand? Final boss. You understand? Be the final boss for these. Final boss. Okay? If they sold chastity belts, I would have been wearing one. Okay? You sitting there laughing and kiki and giggling. Ah! Guess what? Chastity belt. Ah! What's up? And you know what? They sell chastity belts, like underwear that a man cannot remove. They sell those. I'm just saying, ladies, if you feel like you can't, if you feel like you can't control yourself when it comes to a man whispering in your ear, nibbling on your ear, and whispering on your neck, get yourself a modern day chastity belt. Okay? No panties coming off. My love is gonna cost. Cause ain't no way you gon' get up in this for free. Trina! Okay, but then they want to talk about we're city girls and Meg Thee Stallion. Remember how hard I was going at Meg Thee Stallion? She told them to say that. No, she didn't. I grew up on this ish. What is y'all talking about? Trina been telling you. So what is you talking about? So you see what I'm saying? So they think that they can rewrite your story. You're not going to tell me the first time that I started understanding hypergamy. One, I went to private Catholic school, so I understood hypergamy very clearly. A lot of the black women whose families were doing better, they were interracially married. Not all of them. Not all of them. I had friends throughout the diaspora. I'll be honest, I didn't have Black American friends that were married and wealthy. I didn't. But I had Black friends throughout the diaspora whose parents, were Caribbean, African, and they were married and they had a lot of money. But I noticed with Black Americans, with the men and women families, they were married interracially. Because there's a lot of classism. There's a lot of classism that goes down that y'all don't want to talk about. I experienced it as a poor Black American kid that went to school with Black kids throughout the diaspora. I experienced it. I was made fun of for being poor and Black. Now, when we talk about culture, right? I love looking at the weddings across the world, right? I feel like American weddings, of course, there's the jumping of the broom that Black Americans do. But I don't know a lot of things culturally that Black Americans do in terms of specific to Black culture, getting ready for the wedding, getting the young woman ready for the wedding, and celebrating her marriage, right? I don't know of a lot of things Black American people do culturally, but I've seen a lot of other cultures, right? I believe in the Nigerian culture, they give you a lot of money. let's start incorporating that. Let's start incorporating that into quickly. Okay, I think that is a great, and I know they do that also in the Jewish cultures, right? Jewish people give their family members that are getting married, surprise, surprise, a lot of money, you know? And Black folk will be ready to come to your wedding to eat, to get a plate and go. One of the reasons I eloped, because I'm not spending my wedding money on somebody else, even though we ended up doing that anyways. But I've already talked about that on this channel a million times, about how my family did me dirty when I got married. Oh yeah, they did me dirty. They did me dirty. Nobody cared. But the next wedding, my brother's wedding, Black guy marrying a white woman, everybody cared. It was everybody getting to, and I'm like, so y'all can't care about my wedding? You know, there was no care, so much so that, you know, I was like, I'm not going to fly everybody to Italy. Like, what the hell? Especially if you don't even want to have a relationship with me. I'm not doing that. And you know, my family said to me, well, because you're not flying everybody out in the family, fuck you. That's what they said to me. Like, I gotta fly all y'all out to get some fucking support? Kiss my motherfucking ass. But again, when my brother got married to a white woman, oh, it was like, it's time for the family to come together for the wedding. They were telling me, don't make it all about you. How would I make it all about me? Bitch, I got married on the Amalfi Coast, you heard? Everything designer. I don't understand. Like, why would I need to? I'm married. Why would I make it all about me? And they were saying that because they know I'm not a person that wants to interact with people I don't want to interact with. I'm a fucking adult. I'm not a fucking kid with a kid mentality. It's a kid mentality to interact with people who fucking let you down, neglected you growing up. I'm not interacting with nobody who couldn't visit me when I was a kid growing up in foster care. I'm not interacting with them. I don't want to. That's my choice as a fucking adult, you know? And when you're in a sibling group, they try to bully you. Now, I've made it clear to my siblings who the real bully is. I'm the real bad baby. You understand? I'm the real bad baby. I'm the real bad baby. You got to treat people like that or else they don't fucking get it. Not that we're going to sit there and play me because I was playing nice. That I'll be humble. Bitch, this is as humble as it's going to get. You didn't want that? I'll take it all away. Now you don't get shit. Now interacting with me is going to be really difficult. Now they don't want to interact. But when you thought you could bully me, everybody wanted to text. Text now. Text now. Because the bottom line is I still have all the text messages. I'll make a fucking video out of that shit. Before I have y'all trying to smear my name, I don't owe none of you motherfuckers shit. Remember what you did? I'm not a bitch that forget. I'm not a bitch that forget. Yeah, my family did me dirty, y'all, and it's the holidays and I'm feeling the type of way. I don't give a fuck. But then people want to talk about loyalty. Loyalty. They want to talk about loyalty. Fuck y'all know about loyalty. You're only loyal to your ego. Your ego that don't produce shit. Your ego that ain't made a dollar. Your ego that don't get shit done. That's your loyalty. I think the people that are saying marriage won't stop this and marriage won't stop that, there's a wisdom that they have. Because I think what they're understanding is marriage is not for them. It's not. So just admit that you're fine with baby mama culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to blame the men. At that point, stop trying to blame. I'm not talking about women who, you know, like my mother, were married and the dude wanted to deadbeat on him. My father became a deadbeat in wedlock. Fuck. Dumbass nigga. Did everything right. Didn't have the conversations to take from and learn from the way we do today. I'm not talking about those type of women. I'm talking about today. The Danie Lays of today. You knew better. You thought it was cute. So why are you complaining to everybody online, sis? Move along. Got bigger fish to fry. Marriage won't save you from your desire to lay up with any who shot John who threw attention your way. No, it's not. So if you get married today to a man that you ignore the red flags from, that's on you. If done properly, it's obviously a better choice when children are involved and unity is desired to be married, period. If you're marrying for the purpose of marriage, not marrying just to say we did it. It's always this marriage is trash too. No, your discernment is trash. It's trash to you. To women that feel this way, it will always be trash to you. So why are you even talking about it? It's not something for you. Move along. Why would you get defensive when people are talking about marriage and be like, oh, well, it's not going to be everything you dreamed about because it wasn't everything you dreamed about? Dating with intention, vetting and marrying a good man is what's going to save you. And legally, there are benefits to being married that you will never get if you're not. And if you're not thinking about yourself, think of those babies that you want to have because you think it's going to make this nigga love you and marry you. And it's not. Having this baby is not going to make him love you either because it's too common. Please understand that. It is too common. Everybody will have their baby. So you're not doing anything special. You want to do something special for yourself. Don't put out just because the guy is pressuring you to, especially if you like him and want to see where it goes. If you don't care, get your freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. If that doesn't matter to you. But it's always, well, we had a baby and he lied to me. Okay, guess who else is lying to you? Guess who else is lying to you? Almost everyone you interact with is going to be lying to you. These YouTubers, they're lying to you. The government, they're lying to you. The media, they're lying to you. Your parents lie to you. Your teachers lie to you. You can't be serious. Would you have a baby for all of them? If you hate marriage, just say that. A lot of y'all hate marriage because you couldn't make it work for yourself. You couldn't attain it or you couldn't make it work. Now you hate marriage. Stop talking about it like you're coming from some objective place because you're not. Meanwhile, I am coming from an objective place. Yes, my parents were married. Their parents were married. Their parents were married. But you know what? something that I just remembered was my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather divorced before my great-grandmother passed. And my grandmother never said much about their marriage to me. But when she passed, my great-grandfather was like, oh, she's my wife. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. And that's why he didn't end up getting none of her money. Because no, she was not your wife. But what happened was they allowed him to make decisions in the funeral process that I felt he shouldn't have been able to make. And I hadn't have anything against my great-grandfather, but he would come by and visit occasionally, and my great-grandmother held the whole fucking family down. And I remember I used to go over to my great-grandfather's house. Believe it or not, most of my grandparents died before my great-grandparents did. Addiction, abuse, poverty were all factors. And my mother passed before my great-grandmother passed. So my grandmother had to bury a lot of family members. And she raised me a little fucking different. And I'm proud of that. Sorry nobody else that she fucking raised picked up on it. I don't give a fuck. My grandmother raised me with an understanding of the sacrifices that she made. And I'll be damned that my grandmother went through everything she went through for me to fucking repeat a cycle because some niggas whispering in my ear. It'll never happen. No weapon formed against me will prosper. Period. Young Money. Okay? Young Money. If you're in the room, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. I am the best channel on YouTube. It is what it is. Okay? Okay. So anyways, I realized I would go over to my great-grandfather's house to visit him. Most of the time we saw him, he would come over to my great-grandmother's house. But when I was young, we also used to go to my great-grandfather's house occasionally to visit with him without my great-grandmother there, right? My mom would take us. And he had another fucking family. He had a whole different family that like no one like really mentioned or talked about. They never said, this is your uncle, this or that. You know, that they were nice enough, but like he had like a son living there that I didn't know who this guy was. You see what I'm saying? What they made our fucking grandmothers and great-grandmothers go through? Marriage is not going to save you from a dusty, and neither is staying in a relationship without marriage. If you're interacting with a dusty, you're going to get dust. Okay? Surprise, fucking surprise. It comes down to who your partner is. And a lot of people don't want to admit that the signs are usually there from the start. But people feel obligated to give the person a chance. They feel like they can change the guy that they're with, the person that they're with. They ignore the red flags. And then you want to generalize because you ignored the red flags. It's a lot of these dusties doing that as well. Black manosphere. All of their experiences are based on the low vibrational women they chose to chase and or surround themselves with. And now we all got to hear what they think about Black women. Whose fault is it that you ignore the red flags, bruh? You want the same side piece. You want the same thoughtical that everybody else has had. That's how they do it. How you think the other dude got her? Whispering in her ear and nibbling on her ear and licking her neck. And that's why men, high quality men, prefer women who cannot be swayed in such a way. Please understand that. High quality men don't want a woman who any guy whispers in her ear, she's running off to be with him. They don't want that. And it's a lot of women out here who will spend their 20s doing that and then get to their 30s talking about something, why I gotta go half. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You don't have to do like a lot of these YouTubers do and do a whole rebrand. Sis, you're gonna have to do a whole rebrand. Because people talk. You develop a reputation. You develop an aura about you, an aura that Dusties can read. I'm telling you right now, generally when I be downtown, you know, these dudes, they'll even give me a good morning, sister. Okay? They already know the deal. Approach with respect. I'm not here for all that other bullshit. And if you attract dust, you're going to have to watch the entire Purple Print series on my YouTube channel because I can't help you in just one take. Okay? Watch the entire series if you attract dust. You know, when I was young, dust mites came along. But because I always attracted, you know, higher tier men, I was able to discern and let the dust settle. A lot of Black folk feel like marriage isn't important, but family is, right? They have marriage isn't important. What's important is family. The marriage is the foundation for the family you desire. The marriage is the foundation for the family you desire. And if a man is willing to make a baby with you and he's not willing to marry you, understand you're not going to be that family you desire. You'll be some type of makeshift family that, you know, is a co-parenting aesthetic. Now you got to worry about every man for the rest of your life. Is he a predator? Will he try to harm my kids? Is he trying to use me to get to my kids? You'll have to worry about that every man you encounter because you didn't care who your baby daddy was. Because you thought the baby was going to make him love you and that the baby was going to make him marry you, and it never will. If that was the case, marriage wouldn't be on the table for anyone. People would just have babies and you wouldn't have to do anything else. I would argue marriage is family. That's the purpose of marriage. Family unity. And anybody that doesn't want to get on board can get off. I don't send holiday cards to our in-laws. We don't do none of that shit. I'm not going to tell you twice. This is how things are running over here. This is my shit. Y'all don't run shit. And you know what? That it don't mean nothing to me to not have in-laws in my life. Because I grew up in foster care. So it don't mean shit to me. And my husband doesn't care because he feels like, okay, well, you know, they don't want to be a part of the family, they don't want to behave, then it is what it is. Thanks for raising me. Enjoy your lives. Marriage is unity under God, under state, amongst the eyes of family and friends. You take your vows before God. It's for you and your spouse, but also, and most importantly, if you plan to have them, it's for your children. I've told y'all before, a lot of women talk about wanting a high quality man, but are they willing to pay the price? You don't get to lay up with a high quality man 24/7. He has to work. He's got deals he has to make. Your marriage might need to have a conversation or two, but he has to go out with his work colleagues. He can't come home to have that conversation with you. That's the things that I've been through. You're making dinner and you think he gonna come home at a certain time. Now the dinner cold. I do this knowing and believing that this is a good man for the protection and provision for me and my children. Wake my kids up on Christmas morning. Tell them to come to the Christmas tree. Put a bow on your daddy and call it a day. I'll put a bow on your daddy and call it a day. That's something they didn't give me. Merry Christmas. Your daddy's home. Daddy's home. Okay, daddy's home. That's something I didn't get for Christmas. See, I ain't got to buy him gifts. When you pick the right man. Okay? And notice, I will never say the right man is this color and this nationality and this. No. He might be on Pluto. But the right man has the characteristics of a man who values family, marriage, working. Stop allowing your given circumstances to change the definitions of things. People are talking about marriage based on their broken understanding of it. And that's crazy to me. That is crazy. Look, my parents' marriage didn't work out. I saw marriages come and go. And I have been the first and only person I know to be honest about how hard interracial relationships are, interracial marriages, the cultural differences, how your families treat you. Our families are treating us like we owe them something. You kiss my ass. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. Stop playing tennis with a basketball. Play the game. If you don't open up your options and open up your understanding of marriage, you're probably not going to get a good one. You're going to watch yourself repeat the same patterns and cycles that you saw your mama have to go through. I've talked about it before, but I'll say it again. I don't believe that Black people understand the purpose of marriage as a collective. And I also don't believe that Black people understand it's the same as how I feel Black people don't understand race. And Black people love to talk about race loyalty. And I'm like, you guys don't know shit about race. You don't understand at all. If you did, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. Y'all want to talk about race loyalty, but you practice gatekeeping primarily in group. That's not the purpose of race. The purpose of race is you black, is you black. The white people don't go around saying to each other, is you white, is you white. You're white, therefore you're white. Moving along. Because you look it. Because it's based on phenotypes. And that's it. Race, constructed. Constructed. Africans did not construct race. If they did, they would have been fortified against invaders. You understand? But y'all want to sit and be the main authoritative figures talking about race? If you're not talking about race in terms of how to make sure your race is doing better in this world, what the fuck is you talking about? Y'all want to talk about it some, race loyalty, and you're gatekeeping amongst one another. How is that loyal? What's loyal about that? What's loyal about going to an obviously fully Black person and saying, you might not be Black because you listen to pop music? What's loyal about that? What's smart about that? I talked about in my last community post. Race was designed for a purpose. The purpose to hoard resources for one group and to cast the other groups as savage, as undeserving. You know what y'all look like when y'all do this gatekeeping in group of Blackness? Y'all look like a group of robbers who only rob each other. That's what you look like. A group of robbers that only rob each other. What are you getting out of it? If you're not going to play ball, if you're not going to engage in race the way that race was constructed, then just admit that you're not willing to do it. But sitting around constantly finger pointing at each other because you don't have the strength or intellect when it comes to race to have the discussions that really matter, it's so pathetic. It's one of the reasons why I always got to take a break from social media. I can't stand the foolery, the same circular conversations over and over and over again. Ugh. So gatekeeping primarily in group is not the function of race. It's to build in group. That's the function of it. To build in group and compete out of group. And make yourself look like a victim to the other groups. Right? Don't you see the narratives that are going around? Black men, y'all see the narratives going around about y'all? But all you want to talk about and talk to is Black women about hair and weave? And who they date and who they'll lay up with and if they making you look desirable? Tragic. You're supposed to be encouraging in group if you're talking about race loyalty. It starts there. Not setting standards of success, comparing your success to how other groups have succeeded. White men don't hold their women to the standards of Black women. They don't expect their women to cook like Black women. They don't expect their women to be twerking. But black women are told, oh, why aren't you doing this like this other group? What a waste. What a waste of time. Wow, really? That's the conversation men are going to have? That's why I listen to, as soon as I found out about White Manosphere, I listen to White Manosphere. Best thing y'all can do for yourselves is stop listening to Black Manosphere. Straight up. Black Manosphere is for men. It's for the men. They're not going to say nothing good about you. Why are you listening? Why are you listening to them? Why are you supporting them? I'm more interested in what White Manosphere has to say. They have valid points about the differences between men and women. I even saw one White Manosphere guy. I couldn't believe it. He said his channel was being demonetized. And I'm like, for what? These guys can sit up here and misgender black women, put black women's lives in danger with their rhetoric, and they're fully monetized. And they're demonetizing y'all videos for what? So you have to understand, look how things work. You have women getting their videos demonetized on some women-ish, but when it's clear hatred towards black women, they let it slide. You got a lot stacked up against you, sis. All that infighting, y'all know I don't do that. I'm getting ready for the alien invasion. Bigger fish to fry. I don't have to do it. Look at the conditions. I don't have to do it. And it is what it is. A lot of these conversations y'all should be having in private. Absolute private. I've yet to see one other group of people digging at each other. You ever notice that white people don't have to say nothing about non-black people don't have to say hardly anything no more, because black people going back and forth at each other, they doing the work for them. I think that's tragic, and I think that if the man is the head and he's leading shit, he should change that. And of course, no one is going to be saying what I'm saying, because division and hatred is the name of the game. People want to come on here and say they're married. They can't show you a ring. They can't tell you the date they got married. Now watch them scramble to come up with a backstory, right? When you're playing a character, if I'm playing Juliet's mom, there's not a lot of given circumstances for you to know much about Juliet's mom in Romeo and Juliet. So as an actor, I come up with a backstory. She did this. She was born this time. So I know everything about her. Things that will never be brought up in the play. This is how I bring the character to life. They don't even do that on here. And y'all be falling for their obvious lies. Nobody that sits and talks about another group of people 24/7 is married. Okay, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And people try to come on and project onto me what they hear from other content creators. I'm nothing like no other content creator y'all listen to. So again, stop. Don't do that. Don't compare me, please. I'm in a league of my own. I prefer to be there. People click up on here, put them into groups. I'm in a league of my own. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for that. The bottom line is, if you're not content in your singleness, you're not going to be content in marriage. If all you want is for this dude to be with you forever, then you didn't care about marriage. You want him to be with you forever, love you forever. What about what y'all are going to build together? That takes conversations. That takes work, not lofty ideas of how things should play out. It's a lot of lack of communication. People have a conversation about a relationship with their sister and their friend before they'll have it with the man that they're with. So let me read some of y'all's comments, and then I'm gonna head on out. Thank y'all so much for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe. See, Marie says, I had to learn about men and relationships by myself. You know, but besides my great grandmother, I pretty much had to do it by myself as well, just keeping my eyes on everything and understanding this is a dysfunctional relationship. This is a not dysfunctional relationship. Even people that were married for many years, I wouldn't say to myself, oh, that's what I want, because I would say to myself, well, are they happily married? Because I don't care that they've been married for 40 years. So it's a lot of work you have to do, a lot of kind of people watching, you know. Juju Bean said, I had to teach myself about relationships and really had to fix myself because of personal trauma. I feel you. I feel you. And that's the other thing too. You know, I had to do the same thing. You know, do that work and you will be rewarded. I promise you, for bettering yourself. When you better yourself and you say to yourself, wow, I'm in a totally different place. I'm in a totally different mindset. I am a better person than I was before because I've been working on grounding and meditation and not having unrealistic expectations of people. I've been working on the things that are psychologically impacting me and troubling me. I'm working on my triggers, the things that trigger me about men, about women. You know what I'm saying? And you do that work, you're going to start meeting good people. You're going to be gravitating to good people, and good people are going to gravitate towards you. And it might not be as much, as frequently as a lot of the lower tier people were coming towards you, right? And that's okay. A lot of people don't want to contend with being alone. I see so many women all the time be like, hey, I hate being alone. And it's like, bitch, why? You know, ain't nothing wrong with being alone. If somebody wanted to be with you, they'd be with you. So obviously you're alone for a reason. And I mean that ish. I mean that ish. Because I'm going on, you know, the third year of me not interacting with my family for the holidays. Well, it must be for a reason. I've got work to do. And I'm okay with that. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room. Thank you. Marriage is definitely more important. I'd rather stability. Exactly. I would rather have stability than be with a guy that I'm constantly worried is going to cheat on me. I don't know how you can be with a guy that you're constantly worried is going to cheat on you. I don't get that. Marriage before kids, because that's what makes him love you. That union. That's what guarantees he loves you, because he's marrying you. He's making a commitment to you in front of God, in front of church, in front of state, in front of family. This is a legally bonding union. If he cheats, he can be penalized for that in a court of law. I keep telling y'all, in a court of law. Okay? Yeah, court of law matter to me. Because that's where a lot of shit get done. That you can't get done with people in regular life. People don't understand how life works a lot of times till they get in that court of law. Okay? Unfortunately, some people like to perpetrate a fraud just to impress people. Yeah. I do want to get married at a young age, and I get a baby fever easily, but still don't want to be a teen mom. Good, sun goddess Ari. That is a great way to think about things. And I was the same way when I was your age. I wanted children. I wanted to be married, but I didn't want to be a teen mom. So that's smart thinking, because there's a lot that comes with that, right? I should at least be in my 20s. Yes, I agree. I agree, Sun Goddess Ari. Nothing wrong with getting married young. However, best not to have kids immediately, maybe 2 or 3 years after marriage. I agree, old golden, especially for younger couples. The younger that you guys are, if you get married in your 20s, which, I saw a lot of people get married in their late teens, early 20s who are on their second marriage. Okay? Because you don't know who you are. I would really wait till 25. All right. And there's a psychological reasoning behind that. Your brain literally will start functioning different. You'll have a different understanding. That's why I think it's so funny when men approach me with things that you would say to a young woman that might, swayed her or something. That's not going to do shit to me. I'm a very mature woman. I've been through a lot. So I don't care what a random dude has to say. So definitely, if you're younger and you decide to marry a guy, wait 2-3 years before you have kids, so you guys can really spend time getting to know each other and solidifying that union. Having tough conversations, because it takes a while. You don't even know yourself. And that's not a shade to young people at all. Because of course, when I was 25 and below, I thought I knew myself. But I also had this feeling of like, who am I? And, what's it all about? And what's it all for? Now I'm starting to be like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm getting it. And that's why I tell my young ladies that go through depression and anxiety the way I did 25 and younger and still do today. Hold on. Hold on, sis. It will get better. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. You get tougher. And I think that's fucking amazing. If you look at my videos from when I first started doing YouTube till now, I'm not the same person. You switch. You changed up. You goddamn right I did, okay? Jack Nicholson. You goddamn right, okay? You goddamn right I changed. No problem. I don't have a problem with that. I've told you guys before. Look at a chair. How did that chair get there? Was it always a chair? No, it wasn't. That chair used to be, it could have used to be a desk. It could have used to have been a bookcase. Before it was a bookcase, it was a tree in the fucking ground. Everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. Everything falls apart. That's life. Who are you trying to hold on to being? I'm not going to be my 25-year-old version of myself so yo non-evolutionary ass can be comfortable. Tough. And I haven't even reached my final form. Amazing. I think it's so interesting and cool to grow and to be, for me, to be in a place where you can't you can't talk to me the way you used to talk to me. Please do not speak to me like I'm that Danie from 5 years ago. Okay? I'm at a higher place. Ha. They feelings get hurt when you grow and change. Oh well. Lovey Jaboyne says, having a baby before you're married doesn't think that even makes sense. You're going to be a life partner either way. Exactly. You'll be connected to this person, but they didn't have to marry you. So now you're connected to someone and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine. Some guys Ari says, unless he's serious with you, no having kids before marriage. Period. The baby, the serial baby daddy degenerate. This green eggs and ham. Okay. This Dr. Seuss, he looked like a Dr. Seuss character too. I mean, Jesus. The deadbeat. The ring needs to be on my finger before that baby. It's seldom your relationship makes it if the baby comes before. Exactly. Exactly. Marriage won't keep them. Mocha Mommy's in the house. Good to see you, Mocha Mommy. The Dusty. Baby mamas don't count, never did. Okay. Yikes. You know, but you got to think about that in terms of, I mean, you always matter to your child, right? But like in the court of law, it doesn't matter. Something happens to him, they're not going to give that stuff to you and your child. It don't go in that order. It don't go in that order. Something happens to your baby daddy and he got a little bit of money. It doesn't go to you and your child. It'll go to his parents first. You have to understand that. Marie says, I'm so tired of people shacking. That's what older Black Southern women call it instead of common law. Hell, I'll be shacked with my ex-husband. I was with him for 18 years, married for 15. Oh, hell, I shacked with my ex-husband. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not playing house. Divorced for 8 months. Well, I hope that you're happy and good with it, Maria. I know divorce is hard, you know. It's hard for people. Melinda Sadler says, Black people didn't tolerate this 80 years ago. Not at all. Not at all. Get back to it. The reason I use an interracial couple in the picture is because I don't want Black people trying to accuse me of attacking Black love. I've never done that. I'm the product of Black love, and I want Black women to be happy with whoever they want to be happy with. I want you to be happy. So you stop hating. There's a lot of the ones that's not happy is hating. You know? So I want the best for Black people. And I think I've made that clear over the years. But, you know, people will still try to play games about it. Okay, Percy, stop flirting with Sun Goddess Ari. She's too young for you. Okay. Look at this. You see what I'm saying? Watch it, Percy. I'm watching you. The baby be doing a lot of the uniting. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. A lot of people stay together because they're like, well, we got a baby, and you know, they're very happy, and you know, it feels great. I think a lot of people intend to live vicariously through their children, especially when they don't establish anything for themselves, build anything on their own, have something to offer the child. A lot of people have a child, they have nothing to offer the child. And the happiness that they have about the child is in knowing that they can live vicariously through them. And I think that that's a shame. That's not why the child is there. The child is there to be its own person, not for you to live vicariously through, not for you to try to make relationships work, not for you to use. You know, I've seen women say like, well, if we was married, then maybe I would let him see the kid. But because we not together, like that to me sounds like what you're saying, sis, is that you want y'all to be together. And he knows that. That's why he's calling you out on the fact that he can't see the child more so on his schedule or when he wants, because he knows that if you guys were together, you'd be happy to let him do rah, 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 right? Don't have this dude thinking you're bitter because, and a lot of dudes feel this way because a lot of women say this. well, if we was together, then he would be able to see the baby. But because he didn't want to do da, then see, any man that I'm with knows I don't work on a man's schedule regardless. I have my own schedule, I have my own life. Okay? Don't have him thinking that, well, if I had married her, she would have let me, and she's just bitter and jealous because I didn't marry her, because I didn't want to be with her, right? They must have wanted to be with you in some kind of way to make a baby with you. But it's over now. But that's over, okay? Because when they play games on you and you have their baby for them for free, you don't demand marriage, they start to think that you're a woman that can be treated like this. You have to show him before you have a baby that you're not a woman to be treated like that. Some women think that a baby will keep a man. A lot of women think that a baby will keep a man. Look at the numbers. 70% of Black women are not married. But it's a lot of babies. Stop letting these dudes think that that's acceptable. Well, somebody needs to tell them. It's up to them. Well, it's not up to me to tell them. But I've done what I can. If they don't get the message, there are cultures of men who believe that a woman's place is in the kitchen, barefoot. That's it. That's a wrap. Would you try to make things work with a man from a culture like that? Would you try to get him to see your point of view and blah, blah, blah? No. You're not going to change their minds. So if you feel like you're working with a group that can't be made to understand the value of marriage, then maybe you need to move on to the next group. That's why I'm a sapiosexual. I only deal with groups of men that get it, that are smart and understand. Two people have a baby and it's starting to be doomsday instead of something to celebrate. Yeah, but you know what? They'll celebrate a baby, two people having a baby out of wedlock before they'll celebrate marriage in the Black community. And I want y'all to understand that. My marriage was a reflection of that. I was the first person to get married in my group of siblings, and people said, you can kiss our ass. But when people got pregnant and when the men wanted to get married, oh, it was time for family unity. But you, dark-skinned Black woman, not validating our egos, we don't have any love for you. We're not celebrating your union. You didn't validate our egos. You can kiss my ass. I'm not here to validate your ego. Go get it from your mama. Your daddy should have validated your ego instead of leaving. The deadbeat daddy crisis. Honestly, no man could convince me to keep a baby. I don't give a... Well, no. I mean, if we're not going to be married, you know, I can't help you, bruh. I cannot help you. Thank you, Naima. Naivety. Naivete. Thank you, my world. Thank you. I appreciate you. Good looking out. Maria said, I feel I like fresh hot breath on my neck from the right man. Right. You got to be the right man. Okay. It can't just anybody be breathing on my neck. Okay. My body is too important to me. So pregnancy is a decision I can easily say no to. Good for you, Lovey. Good for you. Absolutely has to be that way. I wasn't born with the genes where I could not blow up. Right. Marriage is for wealth purpose, legitimization of a union, and insurance for your child. It protects the woman in case the union falls through with support. Exactly. What about your kids? Marry for love. I'm married for love. Is y'all get married for love? I'm marrying for love. I'm marrying for love of me. I'm marrying for love of my children. You understand? That's what comes first, not feelings. Ain't these dudes keep telling y'all about that? Black women, their feelings. They got too many feelings too. Just be honest. That's what white manosphere said. They said they got a lot of feelings over there. Black manosphere. But you need to marry for love of yourself, for love of your children. Y'all gotta start valuing the right things. I've seen so many women date dudes who, you meet him for the first time and he, what's up? What's up? Nigga, what? He laughing and giggling at everybody else. He calling his mom the B word. And you thought that he was going to be some great quality guy and treat you right? No, you didn't, dummy. And I don't feel sorry for women that get played up in that. There's no way that this dude just started talking to you sideways. There's no way. In fact, since we're here, it's only right that we be fair. I'm going to play this video. I wasn't going to do it. I'm not trying to shade anyone. I'm not. But this video really surprised me. And I'm almost hesitant to say the woman's name because I'm not trying to shade her at all. But I want y'all to hear this voicemail that this man left his baby mama, right? And I want you to tell me how. Look, I've talked to men that talk like this, that will cuss you out, right? And they give you some hints about it at some point before you lay up and have a kid with them. They give you some hint. Something in their behavior will show you this. They're not that great an actor. I've told y'all that before. These abusive, toxic men, they're not as great of actors as y'all portraying them to be. Again, I can understand falling for the okie doke, getting played when you're young, but my ladies, 25 and up, 30 and up, where's your discernment? I don't know how old this woman is, but I mean, if you guys are interested in knowing her channel name, I'll tell you guys her channel name. But I'm gonna withhold her channel name for now because, like I said, I'm not trying to have people say anything rude to her. It's just I came across this video and I just felt like it's a good example and it's a valuable teaching lesson. I'm thinking that's why she posted the video, for it to be a teaching lesson for other women. And so I want to share this clip with y'all.
House, and he knows damn well I don't. He has had to ask me multiple times to come over there, and because I didn't want to. I just didn't want to, and still don't. Have no desire to go over there. So he knows that's false. And calling his phone, yeah, I'm not going to even show y'all because his number is not saved in my phone. How many times I don't call him? It's just like being extra. Okay, so we're going to just finish the rest of the voicemails.
Take your ass back up there and live up with that fucking nigga that you were raised by. Take your ass to that mental hospital that your mama went to. Take your ass back up there to that school that your daddy lives in. Don't call my phone no more. Don't come by my mama's house no more. Take your stupid ass back to Maryland. You go.
Okay, wow. I don't know if you guys can hear that very well. I'm going to rewind it back and turn up the volume.
Let's finish the rest of the voicemails.
Take your ass back up there and make them with that fucking nigga that you were raised by. Take your ass to that mental hospital that your mama lives in. Take your ass back up to that school that your daddy lives in. Don't call my phone no more. Don't come by my mama's house no more. Take your stupid ass back to Maryland. You gold digging, no good, no sense, no logic, no recollect, no heart having ass nigga bitch.
Whoa! Whoa! I forgot that he went that hard. Okay. Wow. And anyways, the video is called Toxic Problematic BM. Stay away from BM like this. Okay. Oh, God. So again, I share the video because I thought that would be a learning lesson. I'll just share the name of the channel as well. It's called IRS Anonymous. And this beautiful Black woman is sharing a voicemail from her baby daddy. You know, he's mad because she won't let him see the baby whenever he wants. Yeah. How do you get entangled with someone that would talk to you like that? I mean, to me, it's very disturbing, very heartbreaking. I think of that football player. I don't know his name. The football player that just horrifically abused his ex, his baby mama, who's his ex. This girl's also playing her video saying that this man is an ex. They're not even together. And he's got all of this hatred and negative feelings about, like, dude, you knocked her up and didn't marry her. What are you having resentful feelings about? What? I'm going to say right now, I've never met a man that talked this way that didn't show a red flag of it early on. Lovey says, marriage is labor, but so are children, so you better protect yourself and get that piece of paper. Exactly. I mean, if it's all for nothing, then let it be for something. Shit. Tana says, factual, hilarious. Thank you, Miss Steele. I appreciate your presence. Thank you, Tana. It's good to see you. Look at this. Look at this. Are you trolling, Sean King? What is you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm moving along. Some mothers want to be the only woman in their sons' lives. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And I'm so glad that I've run into women like that, so I know to never be a woman like that. I will never infantilize any man around me. I damn sure won't try to infantilize my sons so that they're constantly around me. Like, get some friends your own age. Stop being a weirdo. We're talking about Italians. Yeah, their immigration into the USA and them gaining power through the mafia. Exactly. The US was a very difficult place for Italian Americans to be because they were not considered white. And so they had to do a lot of shady stuff. You know, if you look at the mafia and the mobster, you know, again, you go back to Gangs of New York. That was a movie based on the early gangs of New York. Y'all hate that gang culture is not, did not originate with Black American people, but it didn't. Okay? So therefore, you don't have to play into a culture that didn't even originate with y'all. It did not. Gangs of New York is a whole damn movie. It's not one Black gang in it. Y'all didn't originate that life. Y'all didn't. It was the Italian and the Irish immigrants in New York that originated that. Naima says, Maria, yes, I made up my mind and stood on my square. Good for you. Good for you. Fucking facts. Okay. Look at this. Hyenas to the max. Who are you talking about? Yourself? Who are you talking about? Oh, look at that. There's a troll here. You the troll? God. You guys make me do so much work, you fucking trolls. Black women and black men have the Joker and Harley Quinn dynamic. Okay. What's up with women who overlook bad qualities just because of a man's looks and swag? Looks and swag doesn't pay bills or keep a roof over your head. Exactly. And if you want to do that, then, I mean, I guess you'll get what you get. There's consequences in life, right? But don't try to act like this guy, you know, did everything right and then he flipped on you all of a sudden. Because a lot of women try to make it seem like that. And it's like, you ignored the red flags, sis. You ignore the red flags in Mr. Swag. And you ignored the green flags in high value men, right? That's what these women do. And, you know, we don't have time to have empathy for y'all. It's other real life shit happening. Shit. The electric slide at the reception is all... Oh, God. Doing the electric slide. People are coming to the weddings and not leaving a gift. Okay. They coming in, doing the electric slide to the food table, making a plate and being out. Y'all don't value marriage? Come on. Caribbeans have a strong baby daddy culture, but Haitians who are classed back home tend to be classed in the States. So people like Kodak Black were probably poor back home. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know Kodak Black was Haitian either. Haitian or Caribbean. Their mindsets are going to be different even if they come to America and start it all over. Okay. All right. That's interesting. The fact that men become deadbeats in marriage is saddest. It really is. It really is. It really is. And I think that's also a testament, again, to, you know, this guy was willing to play house with you. At the end of the day, he did not have the values of a high quality man. He did not value marriage. He did not value family. He was probably a narcissist who you were feeding you were his narcissistic supply. You have to understand that's the only reason why somebody would behave that way, to walk away from their family. There are narcissists who you were feeding a narcissistic supply to, and if you're no longer giving them that supply, they're going to find it in somebody else. You never lose when you lose a narcissist. You never lose. That's always a win. Absolutely. The average white man may be mad about such things, but the real patriarchs of the white race put white women and children first. They care not about average Joe's feelings. I guess. Talk your shit, okay? I'll be there. Maria Wilburn says, wow, Danie, he made the decisions when she died, not in my family. If you ain't married to the person, you don't make decisions. Exactly. Yeah, I was very annoyed by that. And it was this immediate thing. You got to understand, me and my great-grandmother, we were best friends. I was 19 when she passed, so I wasn't the adult I am today. I couldn't say, look, bruh, you and your family go sit over there and mind your business. You making decisions about the funeral, it's not going to get you close to her bank account. Be assured. So my grandma did not work her life for you. That's why she divorced you. And it just is what it is. And like I said, I'm not trying to shame my great-grandfather, but he did have like a whole different fucking family. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're not going to take my great-grandma's money for you and that second family that we never heard about. The fuck? It was very bizarre. And it was one of the first instances that I had to deal with as an adult, of people saying, because he's the man, he's the head, and he's the lead. Get that shit out of my fucking face. He didn't pay no bills. Do you understand? You don't get to come in and run shit when you're not paying bills, dummy. Fucking dummy. It's just that fucking simple. Period. They be the main ones who be trying to look like black women with their... Touche. Can you share some of the White Man's channels? I want to check them out. You know what? I don't really know them by heart. I'm still checking them out myself. I don't even know their names off the top of my head. I've just come across a few videos. I don't care about manosphere videos like that in general. I mean, they're for men, but I'm trying to check them out, you know, for my subscribers to, you know, steer you guys into better content, because content that's constantly putting you down, y'all don't deserve to have to ingest that. Get these dudes completely off your radar. People will say, oh, you should talk to this person or that person. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't care, because I'm not talking to some man that thinks he's the head and that I have to submit because he has a peen. It don't work that way for me. All right, go back to the Stone Age if that's what you want. Go back to the Stone Age, okay? Only dude I'm going to submit to is a husband that's paying the bills. Period. Okay, I don't know if you're a black woman. What's going on here, Dark Dorothy? But you know, I agree with that sentiment. That's what I saw. And in fact, is there anyone of them that praises black women? You know, there's a lot of these women on here praising the men, but they don't praise these women back. They don't. They'll be like, she's a good little girl to do what I say. Like, you know, they like pat them on the head for saying what they want to hear. But they are not uplifting, praising, pedestalizing your image. And that's why, if you'll notice on my channel, I don't uplift nobody's image but mine own, okay? I'm not doing work for other people. Uplift your own image. Shit. The purpose is to push their victim narrative, so they definitely won't stop doing what they're doing. So, yeah, black women are just responding. I mean, they're responding how women are going to respond when women are fed up. And I don't understand what other response you thought you would get for the years that y'all spent going at black women, you know. And I never, you know, down talked anyone, any group of men or anything. I just moved on with my life. And then they bothered you anyways. So black women that dated out and married out, they came to our channels and bothered us with the name calling and thinking that they were the gatekeepers, the blackness and black cards, little fictional black cards that they were holding on to. And I thought that was fucking bizarre. Because none of y'all paid my bills, this shit for me. So I'm like, who told you that you have a fucking say in what I do? Who told you that? Because they told you wrong, okay? Period. I'm loving this being alone and being celibate. I have changed my whole life. I love men. However, when your mind is not on yourself, you can't be as creative. Exactly. I mean, you can just get so much done when you're focusing on yourself. I noticed that the roommates guy, I forget his name, the roommates guy, the main one, he tells the guys, right, focus on yourself. And, you know, I mean, that's not hard for a man to do. But instead of focusing on themselves, they're focusing on hating women. And it's like, you're definitely not going to get anything out of life with that. Jordan Peterson told y'all that. When you focus on yourself, you'll level up yourself and you will draw the attention of the people that you deserve to have around you. Truly. See, my parents got a divorce when I was 6. My father had to pay child support until I graduated from college. My father also had to place me on his medical insurance. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Those are the types of terms that you can make when you're married. Y'all don't get married and then it's, oh, he don't do nothing. I never asked him to do nothing. So why are you complaining about it all? Like, what a life you chose for yourself, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird. That's what happens when you get married, period. Exactly. Hershey says, Danie, what do you think about women who go by what sign the guy is? I have no idea what those women are and what any of that is like. That's very weird. Good luck to them. That's what I think. I don't want children ever, so I plan on marrying late in life, as late as I can, around 40 or even 50. I'm not ready for the full commitment of marriage yet. Good for you, Ashley. Good for you in understanding that. Absolutely, because it is a commitment. You have to constantly be thinking about someone else. You know, if I want to do something, if I want to, there are a lot of jobs. I'll be honest. I've told you guys, I definitely put my marriage before my career. And there were jobs that I could have taken, but they were out of state or traveling outside the country. And I didn't want to leave my husband for 3 months at a time, you know? If I could do it over, would I? Maybe, just because men don't see things the way that women do. My husband works hard, and I feel like he probably would have valued, me working. Of course, we both decided, right? Oh, well, we want to be together. So it wasn't just like me not taking the opportunity. It was a conversation, but I think that we could have handled me doing that, me traveling for my job, and, maybe I should have. Hello, Lasadra. A few cultures are like this today. Women's rights and women's work and women working are growing all over. True. Marriage is for building families. Absolutely. Period. That's how you build the family, is the marriage. That's the foundation. It all goes back to that. If you don't love the man you're with, the marriage is not going to go well. Exactly. And if that man doesn't love you, marriage ain't going to change that. It's not going to change it. So, of course, marriage ain't going to make him do this and do that. Yeah. I've seen it firsthand. Marriage don't make them do this or that because they're not the right guys for marriage. That's why marriage won't make a man who's not made for marriage be a man made for marriage. A lot of them think like that sort of treatment because they're masochistic. This culture makes a lot of Black women masochistic. What, you mean just hating men in general? I used to see the all guys are trash hashtag when I first started dating my husband, and I was like, I thought it was a joke. I thought, like, women were bantering because guys talk like that about women. But I didn't realize how serious the women were, and you're going to put up with a lot if you're going by feelings and emotions and desires. You're going to put up with a lot from men that if you're dating strategically, vetting, you don't have to put up with. So you got to keep those things in mind. I've dated guys I don't feel any type of way about, I don't feel like they were bad guys. They just weren't a guy that I wanted to be with. It didn't work out. Moving along. It didn't make me say all men are trash because that guy didn't give me what I wanted, right? So you really have to go through some ish to feel that way. And you're putting yourself through the ish because you lack discernment and you want to ignore red flags. Enough is enough. Value yourself, your time, and your worth more than that. To just put up with, guys will ask you out, just ask you out. I've had guys be like, Sleep with me, sleep with me, sleep with me, sleep with me, sleep with me. You know, they'll do it over and over again. It's like, does that work? Does that work? You don't have to do something because some guy is telling you to, you know, because that's not going to make him like you either. Ms. Bree says, we all change naturally. I don't know why people think that you should remain stagnant throughout your whole life. We grow. Exactly. And I don't want to be around people that don't understand that concept. I don't want to be around people who don't want to grow. I don't. I get around people and I'm like, damn, you're the same that you were when I knew you as a kid. You're the same. Annoying. Okay. Child's play. Okay. Tricks are for kids. I remember this, and she had a baby by him, 2 babies, I think. I can't remember what I was talking about. That's not something that just happened yesterday. She noticed that within a month of meeting him. Oh, you're talking about this clip that I just played. I'm going to play it again before I leave. Y'all know this YouTuber? Gosh, you know, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. I'm rooting for her to, you know, have better experiences. And I haven't gotten to watch a lot of her content because, you know, it's just not stuff that I relate to. But again, I felt like that, what she shared, that voicemail, could help other women. And again, I think that's why she shared it. That is not something that just happened yesterday. She noticed that within a month of meeting him. Well, come on now. Come on. Don't nobody just start talking to you like that out the blue. I've had dudes that talk like that. They'll talk to you like that. I had a dude talking to me like that because he was mad that I like wouldn't, you know, hook up with him or something. I was like, dude, I'm not going to hook up with you, you know? And he was like, oh, you this. I'm like, exactly. Look at you, dog, rabbit dog. And this was a non-black man. That's why I said, please understand that. Slid into my DMs like a rabid dog. You can bark all you want, bruh. I'm not sleeping with you. That's weird. I engaged you on a professional level, and you think you're going to bully me into sleeping with you? It'll never happen. And now I have the DMs to one day put you on blast the way you deserve, because I don't know who the fuck you thought you was talking to. But when he started talking like that, I was like, look who you are. Look who you are. I would never be alone with a male like you. Never. Never I would be alone in the same room as you. Never. I only want to be around men that like women, don't call their moms the B word, don't refer to women as B's. Y'all falling in love with men that refer to women as the B word. Or they call women that date out B wenches. Y'all dating dudes like that, talking about son, he lied to me and said, bitch, he ain't lied to you. Zach Stacy. Oh my gosh. Whoa, what a scary, I mean, just absolutely scary as hell. To do that in front of your baby. They don't value marriage. They don't value women. They don't value family. They don't value the kids. Men like that. Big dummy. All he values is getting knocked upside the head, throwing a ball around. You gotta look and see what these dudes is doing for a living. He getting knocked around for a living. Look. Well, what position was Kaepernick? Was he quarterback? See, the quarterbacks don't get knocked around like that. The rest of them, they get knocked about the head 1, 2, 3 times too much. This man said, "You calling me destructive?" and then threw her through a TV screen. He said, "And you the one destroying the relationship, calling me destructive?" Ah! And then threw her through a TV screen. Yes, you're destructive. Something is wrong with you. Yes. Why were they fighting over seeing the baby? Not sure. I don't make YouTube videos. Oh, you're talking about black men. You were talking about how they find everything funny. Oh, yes. Hyenas. Yes. See, I think people thought you were trolling. I gave you a chance, see? Thank you. I appreciate you clarifying that, Dark Dorothy. Italians, Polish, Czechs, and Russians were never considered white. Right. A lot of people got here were not considered white. They fought like hell to be considered white. Okay? So they can go around and discriminate the way that they were discriminated against. Sick. I was commenting on the context of the things that you were saying at the time. I get behind, but thank you. Thank you for clarifying again. Okay. I understand. I understand. Thank you, Dark Dorothy. Ladies, please don't comment or speak amongst white manosphere channels. Peek and stay quiet. Don't enter male conversations or look thirsty for white men. You know what? I agree with that, Thiero. I'm sorry. Is it Thiero or just thorough? Sorry. I think you told me before it was just thorough. I would agree with that. If you're interested to see how men think and you want to view those channels for that, and that, again, is why I was looking at them, right? It's like, okay, I think they're talking about male, female, men, women dynamics and relationships. If you're interested, I completely agree with that, thorough. Peek, take a look, but don't be going there, bigging them up, and no. Save anything that you're going to say, a compliment a man, save it for the man that's complimenting you directly, point blank, period. And I mean that ish. I only compliment men that compliment me, period. Absolutely. Great advice. Ashley says, so true. The same with the Irish. They get mad when you call them white. I don't think people realize how factional so-called white people are. Absolutely. Marriage is to pass on property and wealth. The definition of property has changed. Yeah. True. A lot of times people don't have nothing to pass on nowadays. But if you want to build something for yourself, your spouse, your children, your family, I think that marriage is the way to do that. Not having the baby and taking a chance and hoping for the best. Having a baby and hoping for the best ain't gonna do it. Fan Up Live says, hi, exactly. It is of them to think that they can bogart a woman into, yeah, exactly. Very sketchy and creepy. I'm going to finish playing this tape by this woman, and then we'll head out. Thank y'all so much for being here. You guys rock. You're an awesome audience.
He knows his mom.
Well, I want y'all to understand. This dude is saying, go ahead, and he called her the N-word. One, I stop messing with these dudes that talk about some bro. I'm not messing with no dude calling me bro. I'm not your bro. These dudes don't even know how to address women. And then you want to talk about something, well, marriage wouldn't have made that work. No shit, Sherlock. They don't even know how to address women. See, you gotta hold the door open for me. You gotta put my seat out for me. If you ever saw me and my husband when we were out and about, I don't even open doors. One, I'm a germaphobe. And my husband knows this. My husband opens every door that I enter when I'm with him. Period. He wipes off the seat before I sit down. He's not calling me bro. That's weird. Okay? He was throwing things in her face at her mother. You know, he was like, oh, go to that crazy home like your mama. And this rant that he's having is very low vibrational. It's very low vibrational feminine energy. Okay? So when we talk about how amazing femininity is, there are masculine energies and there are feminine energies. And this was a very, you could tell his mama used to talk like this, and now he's talking like this, and go get your mama. And then I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? The only thing I want to hear from a man is the bills are paid. That's the only thing you got to say to me. If you ain't telling me that, what are you telling me? So listen again to what this guy is saying to her. And apologies for the harsh language. Because I forgot it was actually this harsh, to be honest. I knew there was a reason I wanted to play this to y'all. I forgot it was this harsh. A dude talking to me like this? Oh yeah, I had to call the authorities. I have no choice. I got to protect myself. Because you sound mentally unstable to talk to a woman like this. Y'all not together. You must be mentally unstable. And the authorities need to step in at that point.
Or stuff for the baby. Rightfully so. You're the father. That's the least that you can do is want anything that he can do to impact my family or friends. So I'd rather him not, especially my family. I'm not going to let him meet my family. That is how I feel. Maybe later on.
See, she says, I'm not going to let him meet my family. He already met your family. He has a child by you. That's your family. You know? Ugh.
They may meet because the baby will grow up and have events, and they probably both be there at the same time. As of now, it's a no for me. So I'm going to play our first voicemail as to why he got mad and sent this voicemail, and then the other two are just hearing them. So here's the first voicemail.
Hey, look, that's what I want you to do. I want you to take you and that baby back from there. Just bring your ass on my mama's house no more. Don't call my mama.
I'm sorry, dude. Nah. You ain't calling my phone with all that. No way. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take you and that baby back to Maryland. Like, what? What are you talking about? Shut the hell up. I would not tolerate a man like that in my existence. I wouldn't. And I would do any and everything in my power to make sure, which is why I have, okay? That's why I don't have men talking to me like that in my existence. Because I will do any and everything in my power to ensure me and my children will never interact with a man like that. A male. He's not a man, a male. Why don't you love yourself and your children more? To make sure they never, if he's talking to you like that, what makes you think he's going to be a good father? And he is the father. Percy says, I also hate when a girl calls me bruh, hate it. I also hate it too. I actually do it ironically. I'm sure you guys may or may not know. I actually do it ironically to be funny because I think it's funny. But in real life, yeah, obviously, right? Like, I don't call my husband bro or bruh, right? I'm not like, hey listen, bruh. Like, no, right? It's not even respectful. It reminds me of when they would call black men boy or girl. You know, it's just like, y'all find the lowest shit to refer to each other as, and it's so fucking bizarre.
Just you ain't getting no more money from my family. You ain't getting shit else from me.
Okay, so we're 15 seconds in.
You ain't getting no more money from my family. You ain't getting shit else from me. The baby just got here. I know you don't think that what the little bit that you've done is going to be enough. I couldn't imagine having to have a conversation with someone like this. I'm going to be honest with you. I would move to terminate his rights. And then see, they want to complain and say, oh, but my baby mama wouldn't let me see my child. I would move to have his rights terminated. Because you're not going to be in my life. Nobody's going to be in my life talking to me like that. No way. And certainly not my child. Hell no. You end up with one of these savage males in your house, throwing you through baby strollers and TV sets. Because he whispered in your ear? Fuck no.
His family, it's not like his family funded me. They bought, maybe him and his mom bought stuff for the baby. Rightfully so. You're the father. That's the least that you can do is pay for stuff for the baby. Buying their nails and stuff. Every guy I've been with has done that. So it's not like.
So you're with someone that counts doing something for his baby as doing something for you. You're with someone who counted paying for your meal as doing something solely for you. This is not a man who intended upon being a father, a husband, a provider, anything like that. And there's no way that he's talking like this, but when he was talking to you before you conceived the baby, he was saying everything right. There's just no way. And I'm just using this as an example to say, stop ignoring the red flags. Because nobody can buy that these guys are great actors. They're not.
Pay my bills or anything. He's bought me anything super expensive or anything. So it's just like being extra. I don't pop up over his mother's house, and he knows damn well I don't. He has had to ask me multiple times to come over there, and because I didn't want to. I just didn't want to, and still don't. Have no desire to go over there. So he knows that's false. And calling his phone, yeah, I'm not going to even show y'all because his number is not saved in my phone. How many times I don't call him. It's just like being extra. Okay, so we're going to just finish the rest of the voicemails.
Take your ass back up there and make up with that fucking nigga that you were raised by. Take your ass to that mental hospital that your mama lived in. Take your ass back up to that store that your daddy lived in. Don't call my phone no more. Don't come by my mama's house no more. Take your stupid ass back in there. You cold digging, no good, no sense, no logic, no recollect, no heart having ass nigga bitch. Get the fuck out my city. Take your stupid ass home. Don't come by my house ever again. And I'm blocking you, yo. Fuck you, yo. Fuck you, yo. You dead to me. I don't give a fuck what happened to you. I don't give a fuck kill your stupid ass, yo. I don't give a fuck about you. I've never hated nobody the way I hate you. And now I'm blocking your number. Don't ever come by my fucking house or contact my phone again. You dumbass nigga bitch.
That was nigga with an A, not a hard R. So
okay, that took me out, y'all. And she said that was the N-word with an A, not a hard R. That's not what it sounded like to me. That's not what it sounded like to me. That sounded like a hard R. Sounded like something his mama was telling him when he was growing up. That sounded like something a nasty woman used to say to him when he was growing up. And now he's repeating it. That's not even how a man talks. Is that how a man talks? Again, a male, that's how a male with toxic femininity talks. This is a male with toxic femininity. Very scary. I would never interact with a male like this. You can spot him a mile away, a guy like this. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. He doesn't want to do shit for nobody but himself. He's not doing well in his career. He always struggling. with employment, in and out of work, in and out of jobs. A man knows first and foremost he needs to be employed. First and foremost. So that he can eat. He must be employed. He must have a job. So when you're vetting, focus on men who are focused on their careers. You might think, well, that won't leave a lot of time for me. It might not. But what's the alternative? A guy who doesn't work talking to you like that? And then she defends what he says, right? Oh, that was with a A, not a hard R. It didn't sound like an A to me. It didn't sound like an A to me. There's no excuses for that. He was wishing death on her. Told her, I don't care about you or the baby. I would use that in a court of law. In a court of law. Wrap it up. So I play that again to say that these guys are showing you who they are. They're giving you red flags. You got to accept it for what it is. Because now this individual is in your child's life. This random ass individual talking to you any old fucking kind of way. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Not me, not my child. You won't be talking to us any old kind of way. No, you won't. My child's not going to grow up around that. And these dudes are full of hate and anger. They hate their mamas, probably because when their deadbeat daddies came and stopped by the house, they was throwing their mamas into the TV, throwing her into the wall. Babies see that. They feel it. Now they all messed up because their daddies come through abusive. And they're mad at their moms for not protecting them from that. They're mad at their moms for choosing men like that. They are. I would argue these men would rather not be here. Than to have had you bring them into a world where they feel like they didn't have a fighting chance. It's hard enough being black. And then y'all gonna be like, okay, oh well, if poverty, then it's poverty. If struggles, then it's struggles. Like, what? Men like this should never be able to have children. They should never be able to have children. Ms. Bree says, with the amount of vitriol he spat out saying, it doesn't matter if he said it with an A or with a hard R. That's so scary. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I couldn't imagine, watching that video. What's his name? Zach Stacy? What kind of name is that? Anyways, it's like an 80s Saved by the Bell character. Zach Stacy. That's his name? Anyways, oh my God. It was brutal. And the way that she kept speaking back to him, right? She's like, no, you don't understand. Listen, I've been around abusive people. I grew up in very abusive environments. I saw a lot of it growing up, men abusing women. And I was terrified for her watching that video because I kept thinking, if you keep talking to him, he's not going to stop. I know I watch a lot of crime show TV, and I watched the show I Survived, right? And people say that women are into crime shows because they want to know how they can get out of situations like that, right? And one of the only ways, most of the I Survived series, it chronicles people surviving death. Okay? Most of the stories are men perpetrating these crimes, are men perpetrating assaults and worse on women and men. Okay? They finally had one with a crazy woman the other day. And I'm like, y'all haven't had one with a crazy woman all series, because statistically it doesn't happen that way. The other thing that takes men out, Mother Nature. And that includes animals. So there's a lot of stories on that I Survive series on A&E of usually white guys, because they be going out, white people, they love to go out to the wild. Okay. They be going out to the wild. And they always end up fighting for their life with a bear, and these bears are no damn joke. Bears, mountain lions, all that ish. I'll tell you right now, it's places I won't go. I like to be out in nature, but no way. I'll go to the forest and see some deer and be like, it's time to go. The deers is out. Who knows what they'll do? Okay, I respect deer, but yeah, a lot of the people are surviving attacks by animals. Okay, and a human being who would hurt another human being the way that this man was doing to his baby mama, they're like an animal. I've been assaulted, and if you've ever been assaulted by someone, they are like an animal. Pleading with them, trying to talk to them is not going to make them stop. They're like an animal. And anyone that knows bears, mountain lions, they'll tell you to be very still. Be very still. Because if this animal thinks you're alive, he's going to keep going at you. I saw one of the I Survived. It was gorillas. It was a gorilla sanctuary in Africa. Okay? And a bunch of gorillas that had been abused escaped the gorilla sanctuary. And I mean, they tore these men to shreds. They tore these men to shreds. Screaming, crying, nothing will stop them but believing that you're done. And she kept trying to rationalize with him. She kept trying to talk to him. I'm like, this is not a child misbehaving. This is an adult who has decided to behave like an animal. Only thing that's going to make him stop is if you stop moving. And if you notice in the video, hurls her through the TV, hitting her like a man. When he hurled her through the TV and the TV fell on her, he thought she was out for the count. And he walked away, and he turned around and she was still moving and trying to plead with him. And he assaulted her again. I'm not blaming any of that on her at all. That was all his fault. My point is, you have to understand, animals are animals. I relate to her as a survivor of abuse. And, I was assaulted, and I've been assaulted before, and the only thing that made the person stop was them thinking that they had won. That's it. So, this, I was assaulted by someone that I had no relationship with. Okay, so the person that assaulted me was mentally ill. And that doesn't excuse their behavior either. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Don't ever let me catch you. Don't ever let me catch you. I don't care how mentally unstable you were. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But that's just me. So yeah. Abusive people aren't something to play with. Anyone that shows signs of aggression, they're out. They are out. I shared with you guys before a story. Again, it was another non-black guy I went on a date with in Central Park. And it had just rained. So almost no one else was in the park with us. And this guy was displaying behavior that was very abusive. He was being verbally abusive. He was being very aggressive. I read body language very well. And I realized this man hates women because of whatever prior relationships he's had. And if I were to be alone with this man, he would hurt me. Now you're dealing with a situation of how can I get out of this safely? So after the walk in the park, and he could tell that I wanted to leave. He kept saying, "You don't want to be here? You don't want to be here?" Now, I was in my early 20s, so instead of saying, "No, I don't want to be here," I was like, no, it's not that, right? And then we went to the movies, went to dinner, right? I'm sitting there like a hostage at this point. That's how I felt. A hostage in front of a lot of people. Because I know this unstable individual could snap at any moment. Me agreeing to go on a date with him made him feel like I owed him something. A lot of unstable males have that mentality. They think women owe them something. Don't get in a relationship with any man that thinks you owe him something because he's a man. No fucking way. And anyways, after dinner, we went back to the subway, and he was like, "Hey, you want to?" I was like, "No, I've got to go home. I've got to go home." I was like, "I'll call you. I will call you." "Oh, yes, I will." He called me multiple times before he got the message. "Bitch, nigga, I ain't calling you." Like I said, it was a non-black man. I was like, whew. Thank God he don't know where I live. All he knows is my number. And I'll change that. I don't want anybody like that around me. So if I had a baby with him, whose fault would that be? That would have been my fault. Because I recognized the first date that something was off with that individual. You don't get a second chance. Like Timmy said, hoes don't get a second chance. Identity, best movie, best John Cusack movie ever. Abusers don't get a second chance. You mentally, emotionally, verbally are abusive, aggressive, you're out of here for me. You got to learn how to control yourself, bruh. Learn how to control yourself. And males that can't control themselves, they need to be the ones sitting out in the dust. Males that feel entitled to women, they need to be the ones out in the dust. Not the ones that y'all giving legacy to because you're scared to say no, or it is what it is. At some point, I got to say no because there's no way you're going to be around me. There's no way. I definitely would rather not have been here than the trauma I endured in childhood. Stop having babies out of wedlock, period. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sorry that you feel that way, my world, but the truth is, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel like, your childhood is when you're supposed to be young, have a childhood, have your innocence, have fun. Discrimination, oppression, racism, poverty takes away from that experience. It takes away from the childhood experience. And now you're just here because a bunch of clowns wanted to bump uglies. Now I'm here and got to deal with this shit. You gotta be kidding me. And people say, well, then they wouldn't have had you. Okay, there's some people that don't want to be here just to be here to be fodder. And I relate to that experience because it was something that I felt for a long time. I just started feeling like I can create my own purpose. I can create my own destiny. For the longest time, it was like, God damn, they really played me, huh? You sitting there, a baby, being like, God damn, they played me. I'm here because you was trying to hold on to a relationship. God damn. You know, so they're not thinking about the kids. Then they wonder why the kids don't like them, right? Then they wonder why these kids don't have no respect. Couldn't bother to give them something when they came into the world. What do most parents do? I brought you into the world. Okay, and the world ain't shit. You brought me into the world, and what do you got to show for it? You brought me into the world. Hey, you're just the person I was looking for. Fuck you bring me here for? You got to do a lot of work to find your own purpose. When your parents couldn't have been bothered to do the right things. Very sad. Those women mostly survived playing dead. Yeah, animals in nature is the reason. Oh my gosh. You know, y'all gotta stop indulging these guys in this why they left the home conversations. I mean, it's very clear. Stop entertaining them. They got every excuse in the world. I mean, it's so fucking sad. Oh, very sad. Very sad. But yeah, hopefully that lady's situation works out better for her. But y'all got to understand, in case you didn't know, look, I just played it for you. How these men speak. Any dude speaking like he was sounding like just a utter weirdo. Let me tell you something. And then like, shut up. What you talking about? Speak up. Put some bass in your chest. God damn. It's time to practice discernment, ladies. Stop making excuses. Stop. Because no one's going to give you the life that you want. No one's going to give you the life you deserve. You have to forge it yourself. And a lot of y'all not ready to do that work, but you want what the women who have forged a life for themselves have. It don't work that way. I damn sure ain't going to sit around feeling sorry for nobody who I'm sitting up here taking my time and energy to give you advice, and you don't want to listen to the little bit of advice. You rather listen to people who aren't married, twice divorced, 3 times, 1, twice, 3 times a divorcee. I mean, listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes. Listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about. And yeah, start practicing discernment. Understand that the purpose of marriage is the unity. It's not a baby. The baby won't bring unity. The baby won't make him love you. The baby won't make him marry you. If you want a man to marry you, he needs to understand that that's what you desire without question. And he needs to understand there will not be no raw this or that. there will not be no baby making without a ring, without a marriage, without unity to protect me and my child. Period. I'm not only thinking about you, bruh. I'm not. So let them know. Let them understand that. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you guys very soon. Thanks for chatting with me. Appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video and subscribe. See you soon. Mwah!